Well, it is Tuesday, October 3rd, and I'm just giving my closing thoughts after the first full day of being here. Um, I woke up well before the sun and decided to go to the grocery store, but I had to wait for it to open. And I did, and picked up some things that I didn't pack to bring along with me, and just some basics. But and then after that, I had already decided that going out to the river, to a local park, to watch the sunrise was a good idea. So that's what I did. I did have to remember exactly where the turnout was, because the traffic, if there is traffic, tends to follow really closely. And it makes me a little bit nervous when I'm looking for a place to turn if I have somebody right on me. And that did happen again this morning. But I decided, based on my memory from 3 years ago when I was here in winter, that it's like I know where it is better than then. So I was kind of like, I think this is it. Started to, and just, it's like, okay. And it was. And I didn't make a wrong turn, and I found the place. And it's like, I remember this. It looks different when it's not a frozen winterland, I guess. Anyway, so I got there before mid twilight, which I guess would be nautical twilight, because there's, what is it, astronomical, nautical, then civil twilight, before the sun actually rises. And from down in the valley, even after the sun had risen above the horizon, I still couldn't see it, because I was below. And then there's the tree line too. So actually, it was another half an hour before I even saw the sun peeking through the trees. So I waited. I just kept, being part of the scene, and watching and observing, and just witnessing how the day broke, and making little videos and watching the wildlife, and lots of different types of birds, and didn't see any fish, but I could see that they were there, ripples, and sometimes I would hear something leap out of the water and splash. But and then after that, I came back here, and the continental breakfast was still being served. So, but I was going for a run, so I couldn't eat and then go for a run. So I decided that I would just collect whatever it is I wanted, and then bring it back up here to the room with a refrigerator, and then go for my run, and then have breakfast after the run. So that's what I did, and I got 2 plates worth of what I selected, just yogurt and fruit and milk, and then some other things too, because food, energy, fuel, and then went to the local trailhead that's not too far away from here, and went for a 10-mile run. And ran from this town to the next town up, which was kind of surprising, because I'd never run that far on that trail. I don't think I'd ever run on that trail, period. I think I biked on it once, a long time ago. I have a very foggy memory of that, but I don't know who else was there, or how it occurred, or why, but I just seem to remember that. And well, yeah, when I ended up seeing the water tower for the next town up, I was like, okay, I'm running quite a ways. It was about 5 miles each way, but still running to the next town. It's like, felt like something, an accomplishment, because my usual running circuit is just kind of in a more, I don't know, circular. I don't go anywhere, basically. At least it doesn't feel like I go anywhere. But my regular circuit does kind of go around an entire town, sort of circuitous. And, yeah. And then I came back here, showered. Actually, I took a bath, which is rare for me because I don't have access to a bathtub on a regular basis at all, except when I'm traveling. So, made use of it, took a bath, thought about taking a nap in the bath, decided against it, and because I was getting overheated. And, and then ended up showering, and all that. Had breakfast. I did that before the bath, actually. And then I took a nap. A long nap. And woke up in the evening and drove up to my brother's place and had a nice conversation with dinner. And my sister-in-law and nephew, and and just hung out and spent time, like a family or something. Crazy. To me, it's definitely outside my routine to have social interaction of that kind. Which shouldn't be, but it is. And after dinner, went out to the property that borders my brother's land and my land, and he has a campsite that he's built there for stress relief, just to go hang out in the woods. Even though it's not that far from his house, it still kind of feels like you're in the woods. And at night, you can't see anything, because it is out in the middle of nowhere. And you could just literally be anywhere, because there's hardly any traffic. And I don't even know if there is traffic, if you could hear it. And yeah, you're in the woods, and there's no other people around. And there's no neighbors. There are neighbors, but they're far away. And yeah, it's real quiet, except for wildlife. And it did rain later, but it sprinkled. And we had a fire, and it was real nice. And my brother and my nephew came out. We're at the fire too, and then it was getting late. My nephew has bedtime because he has school in the morning and stuff like that. And it's just like it's like kind of like a regular kind of life. It's a regular kind of life. It's just different. It's a different pace than I'm accustomed to, and I felt appreciated and welcome, and I felt like I belonged, which is unfamiliar at this point. I don't have that feeling of just natural inclusiveness very much. I have a lot of situations that would tell me that, or try to suggest or persuade that I should, but I do not. There are different groups that would want me to feel as though I am included and that I belong, and sometimes I actually do, for brief moments. But then I just fall back onto, it's like, yeah, I don't really, it doesn't last. And because they are just, they have their own lives. And I don't see any of these people outside of the context of those situations. So it's like they basically don't exist, except in that one context, sort of thing, which is strange. Because some of the meetings that I used to go to, as soon as I stopped going to them, it's like all those people, they just disappear. I don't see them anymore. I don't know them anymore. I know it's like, if you have to say it this way, it's like, it's my fault because I don't communicate. I don't keep in touch. I don't call. I don't write. I don't email. I don't Facebook. That's not going to change. As far as like a lot of the people, it's like I don't really want to know them outside of the context. I participate in recovery, in meetings, the way that I do, and I keep people at a safe distance, leave them in that context. I don't know why. I guess most of the people, I just don't have any sort of, I don't feel like really any sort of connection or I don't know, what's the word? Relatable? I mean, we have things in common, but there's things I can't talk about. It's just, I feel, it's like, oh, I can't talk about that because that might hurt their feelings, or I can't talk about that because that's, well, people always look at everything in terms of recovery. Is that good for your recovery? And it's like, oh my gosh. And I don't like that recovery is the focus and how that everything falls back onto a lens that everything is, which if that's how, not everything for me is about recovery. And that's a bad thing because everything should be, according to some people. If you're not 100% focused on your recovery at all times, then you're going to have a bad time or something like that. You're supposed to live in fear, live in paranoia, and stay sick. The sicker you are, the better off you are because you'll stay in recovery. It's frustrating. But there are a lot of people that would convince you that if you think you're getting better, you're just doing worse. You're not supposed to get better, or something like that. It's not everybody's like that, but anyway, I don't know how I switch subjects like that. I guess I'm comparing life where I'm used to being and how my life is there to my situation up here and how I feel about myself. And I just feel like I'm actually able to be myself without having to censor and be careful about what I talk about and how I talk about it. And that the way that I am naturally, it's encouraged and appreciated. And I don't have to pretend being somebody different just to not offend or insult or to raise suspicion about, it's like to please people and to fall within their range of tolerance and understanding. Because if you don't act just so, then people get weird. So, anyway. And as the rain was picking up a little bit more seriously, decided to call the fire good and, dumped water on it in a fire ring too, so it was contained. But dumped water on it, made sure it was doused out, because it is in the middle of the woods. and make sure there's no, chance of embers escaping. And yeah, then just wrapped it up. And I came back here, and here I am. But I did give my nephew his gift of that snow leopard stuffed animal, and I wasn't sure exactly how he received it at first, but yeah, he seemed to be interested, and he liked it, and he had it with him, and then he went to bed at bedtime, and he had it with him, and he was like talking about it a couple times, and but then I got a text from my brother saying that my nephew had told him to tell me the next time he saw me that he thought that the snow leopard was really great and high quality. So, like, okay, well, that was very thoughtful of him to say so, because I appreciate the feedback. Not that I would have ever felt that it was a wasted effort, but I'm glad that he likes it, and he's actually going to, I don't know, appreciate it, I guess, is the best word I can think of. So, it was an interesting day. I haven't decided what I'm going to do tomorrow because I got my run in today, and I'm not going to run 2 days in a row. And I don't really have any plans. I probably will go out and see what the sunrise looks like tomorrow, but I think it's going to be cloudy and overcast, so today might have been the best view of the sunrise that I'm going to get this entire trip, because I think it's going to be cloudy Wednesday and Thursday, and then I'm leaving on Friday. I don't know if I'm going to want to, go down to the river or, make such an effort when I'm just preparing to leave. I probably just want to pack up and make sure, do my double check, my triple check, my quadruple check, make sure I have everything, and back in the car, and then come back up to the room. And it's like, this is only my first day here, and I'm already like thinking about leaving. Not because I want to leave, but because I just have like a sense of time, and it's like, and I'm only here for a total of 3 full days, and this was the first one, so not much time. So I have to work on that, think about it more, how to make more time. Can't be done. I've done it before. When you can't find the time, you make the time. Or else you lose all the time. And you wonder where it went. Of course, now is the best time. So, anyway, I just wasn't going to even make a recording tonight, but I felt like I needed to, for posterity, to let myself know what I was doing, what I was thinking, what happened, to give myself little markers to track of looking back. And I remember that when I was first making these videos, I was in Berkeley Springs, and I was in a different hotel room, and I was under a lot of stress, and I was in a duressed state of not knowing exactly what I'm supposed to be doing in the situation that I was faced with. And I have yet to watch any of those videos, and I'm not sure I ever will, because I don't have any answers for that person. I still don't, and I'm on the other side of it. I didn't know then what I know now. still don't have answers for that person. I just know that they survived. They got through it. They did what they had to do. And it didn't turn out okay. It never does. But we go on anyway. The alternative is not attractive. So, anyway, with those happy thoughts, I should really go because I'm tired. It happens. But I'm enjoying the trip. I'm enjoying this trip. It was necessary for me to be here. And I just hope that I make the most of it the best I know how, with the time and the ability and the capacity that I am able to muster without trying to force anything or hurry things, or, because I just, that wouldn't do much good anyway. But I think, my brother and my sister-in-law, they have a fairly good appreciation of, I'm just, I take my time with lots of things, and without knowing even, they know how I am, just from being around me for as long as they have, what my limits are, and my behavioral patterns, and my tics, and my tells, and when I'm done, I'm just emotionally depleted, and or just physically tired. And I guess I recognize theirs to some degree, probably not as well as they might be able to read me. I can read them. Or maybe I don't give myself enough credit. I don't know. But anyway, I needed to be here. And as it happens, I didn't really have much anywhere else to go. That was a destination with people that I would look forward to seeing and would welcome me into their home, sort of deal. It's the only place on the planet that was a destination for me where I would just automatically be welcome and understood. Some people don't even have that. So, anyway, I don't think I'm going to write anything on this one either. I'm just going to post the video, leave it for whatever reason, and yeah, this is just my documenting of this trip. And just so I know that I have some external memory of it, of the timeline of how things were going. Because I don't want to forget. Not that it's a guarantee that I will forget, but at least this, I have a fixed point, the frame of reference, as my own memory will get hazy over time, but this will remain the same, as long as it doesn't get deleted or corrupted or taken down or lost somehow. This won't change. My memory will change, how I remember things, because I'll be a different person remembering them. So, anyway, okay. I need to go, because sometimes I don't want to go. I want to keep talking, but I don't have anything to say. But I don't want to go. It's like the little kid that doesn't want to go to sleep. want to miss anything. The missing moments. Fear of missing out. So, anyway, I need to go. But I don't really have to go. I'm going.